What's up, Chad? It's Chad Ronies here. So I've been playing a little bit of Apex Legends, checking out what the Season 16 update has added, which is mainly just the hero rework in the addition of Team Deathmatch. To start off with this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the current Battle Pass that this season currently offers. So far, I think the Battle Pass is pretty lackluster, as a few of the skins on offer are just recolors of previous skins, instead of just being something new and fresh, with the exception of Crypto's skin that's reminiscent of Daft Punk. A lot of other items are just banners, hollow sprays, charms, and other items like that people barely use, and it's just there to pollute the loot pool. And 2 skydive emotes, which are just flips, and some other emotes that are okay. It feels like the Battle Pass quality has been steadily declining, as the previous Battle Passes felt like they offered more items that were worth the $10 and the time spent leveling up compared to what we get now. I usually play my game on the EA app and set my account to the country of Belgium, so I don't have to deal with the loot boxes in my Battle Pass, and I get around 2,400 crafting materials, which is enough for me to purchase 1 collection event skin should I choose to do so. The collection event is my main gripe, as this collection event is again filled with a lot of recolors of older skins for legends that are still priced at 1,800 Apex coins a pop, like the Octane Biohazard skin just being a recolor of the Arachnoid Rush skin, with the exception of Pathfinder's Daft Punk themed skin, and a few other skins also being original content. Many of the gun skins also aren't worth the $10 price tag, as they are quite literally selling you black with 2 lines of green for that price. Don't forget that they're also selling hollow sprays, which I'll reiterate again, that nobody uses for another $10. Of course, if you like the heirloom or mythic skin, you're still gonna have to shell out a whopping $160 for it. The only money that I've personally spent while playing this game was the cash for a Battle Pass, which pays for itself, and the highly discounted physical cards of the Lifeline and Bloodhound Edition packs that I got at GameStop for $14 for both of them. While I know that it's a free-to-play game, and it needs to make money, I personally don't and never will understand dumping that amount of money into any game for a melee weapon or a skin, especially with the inflated prices that they're selling everything else for. Aside from the monetization aspects of the game, the hero rebalancing added a breath of fresh air. Some heroes' passive abilities got added onto, like Bloodhound, where you can track footsteps, but you also have a White Raven spawn, and it shows you where the nearest enemy is located. And another example is when Mirage revives an ally, now both you and the ally that you revived are invisible for a few seconds, allowing you to reposition and get the drop on the enemy. Another good change that Respawn has made regarding the Legend reworks is the classification of heroes. Instead of having 3 classifications, support, assault, or recon, there are now 5 classifications, which is now Assault, which gives you access to Assault loot bins that give you higher tier weapon attachments, Skirmisher, which allows you to see where the care packages drop and the contents inside, Recon allows you to scan survey beacons that show the positions of all the enemies on the map for a short time, Support allows you to access the support loot bins, and the Controller allows you to scan ring consoles that give you the next ring position. In my opinion, this was a much needed change, as the game was starting to get a little bit stale, for me at least, as there was a clear meta of legends that were highly chosen, and now the new update gives more of an incentive to choose different legends in order to properly round out your team, and choose 1 assault for equipment procurement, 1 recon enemy for tracking, and another classification just to fill out the team's needs. To add on to the point of the game feeling a bit stale, Respawn had to take down one of my favorite maps, Olympus, because it had a major bug that caused crashing whenever you loaded into it, and ended multiple matches prematurely. Last season, the maps on rotation were World's Edge and Broken Moon, and now this season still has the same rotation of maps because of the issue of previous maps. World's Edge has become one of the worst maps to play by a gameplay standpoint, as people continuously drop in a point of interest known as Fragment, although the loot in the area is average at best. Even in ranked matches, most people decide to drop in a particular point of interest, and most people end up dying within 2 to 3 minutes of the match beginning, and anyone who decided to drop at any other point of interest end up walking around a barren map with only 3 to 4 squads left by the closing of the first ring. People on Reddit have been saying that Respawn should remove Fragment from the map in order to allow other points of interest to get traffic, and I agree with that sentiment. Whenever World's Edge is on rotation, I ignore that game mode specifically and I go play Team Deathmatch or another game entirely. Moving on to the secondary game modes, I think that Team Deathmatch is a wonderful addition to the game as it caters to the Call of Duty crowd and allows you to warm up and have big firefights without risk of being sent back to the lobby and having to start scrounging for loot again. In Team Deathmatch, there are different sets of equipment that you can use that are changed whenever the map changes, forcing you to use weapons that aren't usually used in the Battle Royale game mode, which feels pretty good. While Team Deathmatch is a great game mode, it has its fair share of issues. First off, I think Arenas, which is a CSGO style game mode where you purchase weapons and face off in a 3v3 setting, didn't have to be removed at all. I feel like both game modes could have been available to play, as both game modes cater to a different audience, and Respawn reuses the same map from arenas, which some people on the internet said felt like a slap in the face. Although they're being a little bit dramatic, their point does kinda stand. Even though arenas wasn't particularly popular, there was still a specific subset of people that mainly played that game mode. Furthermore, Party Crasher and Habitat 44 feel a lot better compared to the Skulltown map, which is a lot more vertical and favors high mobility legends a lot more. Another issue with this game mode is that the amount of people leaving when their team starts losing. On Reddit, there are multiple users that state that there should be an abandonment penalty for people who decide to leave the match early, but I feel like that's taking the sledgehammer to the issue where you can instead use a scalpel. Why would you ban someone from playing a completely casual game mode when you can instead institute a functioning backfill and replace people that leave? Currently, when somebody leaves the match, the scoreboard shows that it's searching for players. Yet, I've never seen a person that's left been replaced by another player, and I've never been placed into a match that's currently in progress. Why is Respawn not able to implement a functioning backfill when it's been done by so many other games that also have team deathmatch? That's something that should be looked at first before handing out penalties for something as small as leaving a casual match. It gets annoying, yes, but there are a lot of people that leave in every game, and that issue has been solved with the functioning backfill. Backfill was also implemented in other game modes, like Control, and it still didn't work. I don't know what's going on, but if every other game that has a PvP mode that allows players to join in a game, I don't understand why Respawn can't seem to nail it down, especially since they made Titanfall and Titanfall 2, which also had functional backfill. People also leave when there's a clear skill difference between players, as I've seen the sweatiest Wraith players that seem as if they're taking massive rails of cocaine and Adderall while they're racking up 20 plus kills, be pitted against newer players that are still learning the game. If players feel like they're not having fun by being killed by somebody who's clearly above their skill level, it should be in their right to leave the game mode and find another match, as that would be fine if backfill was actually functioning. I know I don't enjoy spawning, only to be zapped with no chance of retaliation. People would just say, get better at the game, but that doesn't really happen if you have no chance of actually doing anything against the people who spend most of their time solely playing this game. Skills are sharpened when battling against other people that are just above your skill level. Now, if there were to be abandoned penalties in casual Battle Royale matches, then I would agree with them there, as it gets pretty frustrating to see one of your teammates drop in by themselves only to be zapped in an instant and leave you at a major disadvantage, or leave when you pick up their banner and start respawning them. All in all, I think that the new update is definitely a big step in the right direction for Apex Legends, but I still feel as if Respawn dropped the ball in a few places, such as the overpriced recolors, backfill not working, and the removal of content that people enjoyed, and the rotation of maps that were in the previous season. Is there something that you guys disagree with or you guys think I missed? Comment down below, and I'll add that into my future videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.